This is called The Dying of America's Light. Is American freedom on fire in LA? Marines on the streets, but how long will they stay? Deployed by an autocrat more emboldened each day. Any phony excuse and its phasers off stun. How long before Taco orders bullets for the gun? Peaceful protest is paramount, though Trump needs no excuse to call in the troops he would happily let loose. He bragged at Fort Bragg, "I will liberate LA and clean those who poison the blood of your USA." Is LA the touch paper that sets America alight? To remove Trump the dictator, you will have to fight. But is your battleground the courts to keep an autocrat at bay, or the streets of the cities where ICE hunt their prey? Do Americans now walk in fear of each other, that they're being informed on, sister and brother? Those who are legal but don't spout Trumpish cant are apt to say nothing and let Taco Boy rant. Deportation is valid if due process is clear, but not if your skin color fills you with fear. Should anyone short with a flat face who's brown go into hiding till freedom's touchdown? While RFK Jr. screws around with your health, the family Trumpino accrue ever more wealth. The $200 million jet from Qatar, who in God's name doesn't think that's too far? Do the Democrats hope Trump will somehow implode before impeachment for the havoc and chaos he sowed? Do Republicans rue that they were deceived? We unleashed a monster that no one conceived. His insidious threat caught us all by surprise. Or did you watch this unfold with wide open eyes? Will the GOP members rise and one day shout no? Let's hope their resistance hasn't reached its plateau. When impeachment begins on both sides of the House, with freedom on fire, the GOP know who to douse. Soon enough they will see their Thermopylae calls. An American Leonidas, but who has the balls? Fascist barbs from the White House will blot out your sun, but the whole world will see who chose not to run. One day in that sun, the inquiry will start, how Trump came to power and who played what part. McCarthy's Red Scare was fatted on fear, wrecking lives with abandon, using sneer and smear. Those who do that right now are already in place. Chief amongst them is Miller, Trump's right-hand disgrace. Only tamed by the vestiges of democracy's embrace. The progeny of illegals should have no right to stay. Are they Untermensch Miller? Should they auto-defay? Can the offspring of aliens stay if they're white? Otherwise you're shipped off in the dead of the night. TDA and Maduro are not in cahoots, something Joe Kent clearly disputes. Find alternative facts which can be conflated. Look harder, you fools, or I'll be castrated. The enigma is Bondi, the DOJ manticore. Did you dump bare true faith from the oaths that you swore? Comparisons with Barbie do not spring to mind. Perhaps the Gorgon Medusa would seem better aligned. Do you turn to stone those who question your goals? You enable a fascist whom no one controls. You will doubtless be pardoned as Trump nears his end, For crimes against the Constitution, you try hard to amend. 'Course if it is proved Trump is mentally unfit, then even his pardons won't be worth shit. Rubio tries to hover above the rancorous spite, but tyranny in disguise shows he's not contrite. There's no semblance of propriety, no boundaries too far. To be a fascist's major domo, it seems, is no bar. Wilkinson's heartfelt entreaty plainly fell on deaf ears. His good brethren remark has not allayed fears. The roll call of resistance, to be read at Trump's end, will start by outlining who was quickest to bend. Silence is complicity in Trump's word and deed crimes. Heed the smallest of voices in these desperate times. Harvard's still fighting when Trump thought they would cave. Academic independence is not something you waive. They bear the full weight of MAGA boys' ire, because they won't bend a knee to a dictatorous liar. Did the Trump pop apply but was sadly rejected? If so, Trump's vendetta is, I'm sure, unconnected. He tries to cow judges to bend to his will, but so far his success has been practically nil. True Duggan was cuffed for her perp walk of shame. I hope one day she'll laugh to be in Trump's Hall of Fame. That intimidation was thuggishly base. Fascist playbook and tactics, just another disgrace. Judge Fernando Rodriguez said there is no attack, no alien invasion, so these cases go back. His persuasive authority isn't precedent law, but it showed Team Trump's plans contain yet one more flaw. To persist with this crap, does Trump really think if he pressures the judges he'll find a weak link? We sent a kid to Honduras, a big policy success. So you can be deported if you're too and transgress. Ras Baraka's arrest ends in farcical shame. Bumbling Haber is told, you must raise your game. And a court can't be asked to cover its eyes. What Shun didn't cite was the DOJ's lies. I ask myself daily, does Trump have a clue? Or is it Miller and Bondi who are turning the screw? The great disruptor's senility is now very clear. Taco Bell's 78 and time's dagger draws near. What he sowed for Biden, Trump now reaps in spades, only slightly downstaged by his cretinous aides. Much is made of his satraps like Cash Perp Patel, but that shit show of dimwits have only threats to compel. RFK Jr.'s Health Commission report was meant as gold standard and of massive import. Some citations, it seems, just do not exist. You would have to think he'd be really pissed. It was sabotage, of course, to make me look bad. You couldn't look any worse, and that's what is sad. Meanwhile, DJ Sauer gets a Trump poison chalice. Scrapping citizenry by birth shows Taco Boy's malice. 7 judges sat gobsmacked by his drivel on tap. Flag Boy and Kid Crow, were they taking a nap? The Trumps now aggrandized by millions each day. A dynasty of grifters, what more's there to say? The Trump hotel in Serbia has yet to go through. Goran Vasic was bribed. I wonder by who? God alone knows what the Saudis have paid, just desperate to avoid another Trump gasconade. Sure, they melted Khashoggi, but you still have to trade. Will they get AI secrets and US expertise? But who waits in the wings? Some say the Chinese. Nixonian corruption barely waggled the dial when compared with the Trumps, who don't bother with guile. 4 years to get rich seems quite a long time, but when DT has pegged it, who will lend you a dime? The Trump name is toxic till tired time calls it quits. And your ethics and morals, those are for hypocrites. Be sure to tune in to White House News and Wire. You'll get bollocks full on from a felon and liar. To resort to that option is admitting you failed, and those spouting his crap, shame they cannot be jailed. Trump's no interest in governance, his desire is to rule. You aggrandize and bully from the White House cesspool. A dictator on day one, it turned out, was untrue. Now it's pay as you're governed, and who can we screw? Trump coin pulls in cash for family and friends, just one of your numerous presidential dividends. The appearance of propriety we can all see is fake. No one thinks what you do is for America's sake. On Memorial Day, your first utterance was scum. In a rant against judges who refused to succumb. Those who paid with their lives are of secondary import. You may be the POTUS, but you're not why they fought. Their service extracted life's ultimate price, but you sully that calling and their sacrifice. A draft-dodging felon takes their family's salute, but your moral turpitude is beyond absolute. DT Jr. greets Biden's sad cancer news with claims of a cover-up. Here's our inhuman views. Dog and goat killer Gnome gets to spout total crap. Comey's 8647, those shells are a trap. He's put out a hit on King Donald, our boss. But the Botox I've had means you can't tell I'm cross. Ex-felon Charles Kushner is now bound for France. Though the French can refuse, there's not much of a chance. Their media will doubtless think of some epithet. Should his first language lesson include oubliette? Liberation Day tariffs might be struck down. Another Trump reach around and the act of a clown. He embarked on a quest to fix the balance of trade. Or was it who'll cave in first and how much you'll get paid? When the Trump clan is toppled, there will be such a cheer. An end to corruption and her chief auctioneer. It'll then be for the people once more to cohere. America's full inheritance came at a tender young age. Don't submit to Trump's vices, senile rants and fake rage. The moral arc of the universe bends to justice, King said, not this scaremonger-in-chief preaching hatred and dread. In this age of unreason, will you weigh heart and mind? Will you speak up for those he's reviled and maligned? Coalesce around your virtues, not what sets you apart. Deny Trumpists the keys to America's heart. Don't let Trumpish tantrums ring Americana's death knell. To paraphrase Dylan's light and dark villanelle. Do not go gentle into the dark of Trump's night. Rage out at his dying of America's light.